JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 10th of November, 2022. So yeah, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Thursday's morning session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, as always, a quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our jfdbrokers.com website, which you can always check out for more information about us. Now then, guys, jumping into the charts, the first one I actually want to pick up here is Nikkei 225, and we have dropped back below the downside line yesterday. The negativity hit the U.S. markets. And we saw the major U.S. indices declining, and of course, not saying anything. I mean, yeah, the Nikkei followed suit. However, you can see here that we fell below the 208. The downside line, but we stayed above the 208 EMA and actually the other EMAs as well. So, as I've mentioned before, for example, yesterday I said that look, my more convenient for me level for the downside is from around here, from this 26,981. If we clear that, then yes, I'll go lower. At this point here, it's a little bit tricky here. I mean, we could try to start drawing some sort of rising wedges or something like that, and of course that could be the case here. Maybe, this could be seen as a nice rising wedge, which according to all the TA rules tends to break to the downside. However, until we get that breakout here lower, we cannot really talk about or let's say get comfortable with that idea, because in a way, if it remains within the pattern, it could still climb higher. So yeah, that's why for now, guys, I'm keeping an eye on this area. Yes, we broke the downside line, but the fact that we're still trading above all of the EMAs, that's what is worrying the bears. Shanghai Composite. So I talked about this, and I talked about this idea of a falling channel. Look, I said that keep your eyes on this lower side of it, because and this 21-day EMA, it may provide support. It did provide support. We did move towards that area, and then we started rebounding from it. Now let's see if this idea, this arrow which kind of points out the upward scenario, will work out, because at the moment one part of it is working, the fact that we are getting a hold up above that 21-day EMA, but let's see if we can actually get that breakout here. So I'll get a little bit more comfortable with the upside if we do push above this downside line, which is also at the same time the upper side of the falling channel. ASX 200, now beautiful hold up, continues to hold nicely here. Look, I think I need to grab this highlighted territory here and put it right there, because I think that this is going to be a little bit more important. So yeah, if you're looking for some higher levels, the breakout here is required above that psychological 7,000 mark. Until then, I'm just observing the price action, and in general, look, I mean, this idea worked out where I said that if it rebounds from this upside line, it could go higher, and my target got reached. This 6,994 area, approximately around there. And yeah, in order for me to go higher on this one, I need to see now a push above that psychological 7,000 mark. The German index, DAX. So beautiful hold up, beautiful retracement, everything worked out perfectly. So look, I talked about this idea, and I said that if we stay above this. Well, first of all, we said we might drift back down for a little correction here towards that 200-day EMA, which we did. We did get that test, and then we rebounded. The cash index right now is sitting at around 13,623, which is slightly below yesterday's close, but still above the 200-day EMA. So as long as we continue to trade above that 200-day EMA, I'll continue aiming to the upside, where my next target is the 13,950 territory. Nasdaq 100. So yeah, of course, Nasdaq, the biggest loser yesterday, declining 2.48. Sorry, not or 2.37 here. The Nasdaq 100. The Nasdaq Composite was 2.48, yeah. Oh yeah, sorry, Robert. Robert. Yeah. Good morning to you too. I saw your message yesterday, so but yeah, it was kind of at the end of the video, so that's why I decided to pick it up on it today. So hopefully that will help. But anyway, yeah. Nasdaq, yes, it drifted back down, and look, I mean, I talked about this breakout here for the upside. I needed to see a push above that hurdle, this 11,177. That's what I was looking for the upside, because at the same time we would jump above the 21-day EMA. But okay, I mean, it now drifted back down. Yes, it looks a little bit maybe more bearish. However, let's not rush into anything. If we do drop below that 10,677 territory, somewhere around here, then yes, my next target will be this 10,440 mark by the lowest point of October. Dow Jones Industrial Average. Now, looking at this picture here, I would say, yeah, if you're looking for some lower levels, then a drop below the 31,727 territory is required here. A drop below this hurdle would mean that more sellers can jump in. We could fall below all of the EMAs here in our daily chart, and yep, further declines could be possible. So that's why my downside scenario is only from around here, not somewhere from here. I mean, I don't really feel comfortable with this area. In general, maybe we could see, you know, a test of this 200-day EMA, then rebound back up. So that's why I don't want to rush into anything here. DXY, the dollar index. So yeah, we rebounded from the lower side of the falling wedge, and we rebounded from this upside line. We climbed back above the psychological 110 zone. So that's in a way great, I would say. Look, I mean, I talked about this and I said that in order for me to kind of, you know, go higher, I need to see maybe a push back above this 110 zone. But my next target will be not here, not the upper side of this potential falling wedge, but the 21-day EMA. And if we clear that one, yes, I'll go further north. At the moment, yeah, for the downside, I need to see a drop below the 100-day EMA. Now, jumping into gold, this one's getting still a hold up. We did push higher above that 100-day EMA yesterday, so okay, that's great, but we failed to stay above it, and we drifted back down. So look, today we're trying to make a move higher again. However, this 100-day EMA is doing its job and providing good resistance. Now, if you're looking for some higher levels, then certainly wait for a push above that 100-day EMA, and then we'll take it from there. For the downside, I need to see a drop. Well, this is the problem with the downside. I will stick to this area between the 1682 and the 1684 levels. If we fall below it, then yes, I will consider maybe a bit of a retracement here. I'll grab this I'll grab this arrow here, I'll reuse it, so something like that basically. But yeah, at the moment, like I said, it's, if you're not comfortable with this, I mean, if you're thinking that, you know, maybe if it continues to trade below the 100-day EMA here, I would say, you know, leave it. We might see a drift back down here, maybe like a formation of a like a bullish flag or something like that. Because look, here we had also a similar scenario where, yeah, the next day it kind of corrected, but then the third day it pushed. The first day we had this strong move, then the second day we have this. I'm not talking about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. No, it's just like the first day. This was Friday. So the first day was like this, then the second trading day was like that. To the downside a little, excuse me, correction. We corrected 23.6% on the Fibonacci here, and we pushed higher. Now, if you want to apply the same logic here on, for example, on gold, then yeah, you can see that we have already done the 23.6, even though we actually came closer to the 38.2. And let me just double check if this is not going to be something like that. Okay, that's quite interesting, to be honest, because the 38.2 is near my breakout level here. Okay, that's quite interesting. So let's put it this way: if we're gonna mark this like this, then I would say we can keep it for now and aim for that 23.6, which is around that 1697-98 territory. Now, jumping into silver, similar story here. The only one positive aspect here is that we are continuing to trade above the 200-day EMA, which, yeah, we haven't been above the 200-day EMA, well, since what? Since April of this year. Since at the end of April, we've moved back below it, and now we're trying to kind of, stay above this 21-day EMA. So, okay, that's good. It could be good for the bulls at the moment. Look, I mean, do not exclude, let's say, something like a correction lower. Like if gold starts correcting, then silver will correct lower as well. But don't exclude the opportunity to see maybe a false breakout or something. So, for example, we drop heavily here. We move back below the 200-day EMA. And then it kind of, by the end of the day, it kind of reverses and pushes back up and stays above it. So, and this is the moment where, for example, this upside line works out or something like that. So, again, like I said, I'll keep this for now, just out of curiosity if this is actually what's going to happen or not. But it could be quite interesting at the moment. Yeah, let's wait and see. If you're looking for some higher levels, then probably the safer option is to wait for a push above this 21.62 territory right here, and then we could go from there. At the moment, I am just going to observe this one. As long as we stay in this territory here, I'm just going to observe the price action. If we fall below this upside line, there is a chance for maybe a bit of a larger correction here to the downside, because again, maybe if we start drawing some upside lines, maybe it's this one that we will have to keep an eye on. Again, it's not really clear here, but one thing that it's clear for me, if I want to go higher, I need to wait for a push above this 21.62 territory. For the downside, I need to see a break of this upside line, at least something like that, because at that time we will be placed below the this 200-day EMA, and then at least we can find some sort of logic in all this. But at this point, when we already rallied, this is the moment probably for like a little consolidation, and then yeah, we'll decide later what to do with it. But these are the areas that I'm watching for now for a breakout, for a potential breakout. US oil, WTI oil. So we broke the upside line. I talked about this yesterday. I said that if we fall below it, I'll aim lower, because in a way, what could we see here is probably something like a range here. So yeah, at the moment we broke this upside line. We're now drifting to the downside. We found good support around here, actually, near this 85.58. I spoke about that level before, and yeah, if we continue to trade above it, then of course, I'm not saying that I'm going to be very bullish or anything. No, I'm just going to leave it there. But if we fall below that 85.58 territory, now that's where, yes, I'll continue aiming for my lower side of this potential range. But one thing that's working out, of course, is the fact that we broke this upside line, and this is what I said yesterday: if we break it and stay below it, I'll go lower. Ethereum. So yeah, of course, the crypto world is getting a hit, suffering, and that's why I said, guys, look, I mean, I said to you previously when we were still here, I said wait for that push, pop above the 1664 territory, and kind of we need to see that staying. Well, I mean, this is one of those moments. And then I said that if we fall below the downside line, then I'll aim for this highlighted territory, this 1219, which we managed to reach, and yesterday we managed to break it as well. So what I talked before, that if we fall below this, then I'm going to aim for this 1000 territory. Look, we went and tested the area near the 1070 zone, and we rebounded from there, and now we are trying to push back up. However, this is the point where I'm going to say that, hey, if it's going to stay below this territory somewhere here, or even, look, this is my ideal scenario, something to happen like this, then where it's going to make a push, 12, 20, 19, something like that, give a nice resistance, and then we decline back down. But again, I'm not excluding the opportunity to see here a push back up, a test of this downside line, and then move lower. So be careful around this hurdle here, around that 12, 19, 20 zone. Because if it continues to provide resistance, then yeah, maybe we can try to risk it and try to go and then for that 1000 level. But if it doesn't, then well, what can I say? I mean, it could travel back to this downside line, and then we'll have to reevaluate things again. EURUSD, so just a quick update. Again, I'm not doing anything, just watching this one. At the moment, we're kind of near that 21-day EMA. We're at that, actually, 21-day EMA. So I said before, I need to see a clear breakthrough one of these trend lines in order to consider the next short-term directional move. That's what I mentioned in my previous videos this week as well. So yeah, at the moment, I'm just watching. AUD-NZD, similar story. Look, I mean, we got a hold up near this 1.0953. So yeah, if we want to go lower, I say we wait for a drop below this 1.0883, and then we could go a little bit lower. For the upside, I need to see a push above this territory, above this downside line, above that 1.1022 area, something like that, in order to go higher. And yep, then we could get more excited with the upside, because at the same time we would be placed above the 200-day EMA, above the 21-day EMA. Yep, and yeah, more buyers could join in. My favorite one, NZD, NCHF. I mean, look, I mean, it is just magical. I mean, I do love when pairs are so technical. And look at this beauty. It drifted nicely to the downside. It fell lower and tested my targets, and I would say mission accomplished on this one. Great. We had a good run. Look, my target was around that 0.5758 or that 21-day EMA. We've reached the 21-day EMA, but it's very close to my level. Look, it might continue sliding. I'm not saying anything, but at this point, probably I'm just going to observe this. I'm going to keep an eye on this 0.5758 territory. If we fall further below it, then yes, more sellers could, join in. But again, at this point, I am a little bit on the careful side. You could try to do this right here. Draw a Fibonacci, and you can see that my level here, this 0.5758, is near that 38.2. Very good target, very good level. So yeah, at the moment, I would say I am very, very careful. I'm very, very careful, and I'm just going to leave it here. I'll wait and see what it wants to do further. If you want to participate in all this, then look, consider the fact that kind of, if you've missed the ride here, then just leave it and wait for it to kind of bounce or something like that, and then we could reevaluate this again. I'll definitely pick up on this a little bit later. USD-CHF, almost very close, came very close to testing this upside line, taken from the low of the 11th of August, and came close to testing the 100-day EMA as well. So long story short, I would say it somehow is working and not working, because it worked. It dropped below the 0.9842 and moved almost to this 100-day EMA and this upside line, but then it recovered and climbed back up. So I'm not saying that I'm going to be bullish here. What you can do, for example, here is but again, this is a bit of a tricky option, actually. I wouldn't recommend it, but let's say if you are really willing to take advantage maybe to the upside on this one, look, continue monitoring that 0.9842. If we continue to trade above it, then maybe there could be a bit of a bounce, maybe back to this 21-day EMA or something like that. But again, your stop loss, consider the fact that if it starts falling back below the 0.9842, then yeah, this is not your entry for a long. I mean, this is not your kind of long option that could work out. USD JPY, this one's getting closer and closer. Look, I'm really hoping that we're gonna get something big out of this one, because at the moment it is just coiling up. It's forming that descending triangle pattern. Again, if that's the case, then certainly a drop below that 145 level is required. For the upside, I need to see a break above this downside line and a push above the 21-day EMA in order to go a little bit more to the upside. Pretty straightforward on this one. GBP JPY, this one I talked about this yesterday. Look, I mean, there we go, beautiful. This is great. I said that, hey, if we fall below the 21-day EMA, we could go a little bit lower, but my preferred scenario for the downside is from around here, near this 165 level. If we drop below it, then my next target is the 200, well, the 100-day EMA and then the 200-day EMA. So, because what I said to you, that maybe, just maybe, we're forming here a possible head and shoulders pattern. GBP NZD, so this one's a little bit different. Last time when I talked about this, I also pointed out this a nice head and shoulders pattern with a potential descending triangle idea. Now we've drifted lower, we've moved nicely to the downside, we found support near this 1.9131 level, and then we rebounded, and now we're pushing higher. Now the thing is, I've drawn this scenario here where I said that, look, if we are correcting higher, maybe we could correct towards that 100 and the 200-day EMAs, which could provide a bit of resistance. So far they're doing that, and I'm still kind of considering this idea as my main one, because look, maybe we are forming here something of a bearish flag. Again, I'm not saying that this is the case, but maybe this could be a good idea. So look, we could see this one pushing maybe a little bit more higher, maybe even above the 100 and the 200-day EMAs. But if it's, let's say, stalls somewhere around here, look, do not kind of be surprised, for example, if we do see a move back to the downside here. So yeah, keep that in mind. In terms of the Euro JPY here, we're still watching this downside line. We're still struggling with it. So to be honest, nothing new. And yeah, at the moment, I'm just gonna observe the price action on this one. Because again, maybe this is forming a nice descending triangle pattern. If it is, then we could see a drift back down. But at the moment, yeah, it is how it is. Euro CHF with the like I said, with the Euro JPY, if it breaks the downside line, I'll go higher towards the 148.40 level. If it falls below the 21-day EMA, yes, you could keep an eye on the downside. Maybe aim for this 144 level right here. Could be a nice opportunity, but whenever we are in a bigger formation like that, like a triangle or something like that, then it could still not go all the way to that lower side. Could fall somewhere here, midway, and then reverse back to the upside. So just kind of be careful on this one. But yeah, if we do fall below the 145.64 level right here, we could fall below the 21-day EMA, and maybe then we could consider a move to the downside. Euro CHF. This one's quite interesting. Look, I think I need to redraw this a little bit, because look, I haven't picked up on this one for quite a while. I'm going to keep the 0.9957 level. That's somehow for now is working. What I'm going to redraw here is something around here, I think. Yeah, I think this is the area that you need to keep an eye, the area of interest that we need to keep an eye on. And yep, there we go. So, look, if we are looking for some higher levels, we need to wait for a break here to above this 0.9957, just to be a little bit more on the safe side, and then a nice good pop above it would confirm a forthcoming higher high. For the downside, maybe we're forming a double top here, a little double top, with the neckline being around here, and at the same time, if we do fall below this neckline, below the 0.9834 territory right here, we would fall below all of the remaining EMAs here on our daily chart, and then yep, we could start maybe considering a move lower. But look, this upside line is probably irrelevant here. It's not needed. So yeah, let's keep an eye on this for now, on these two levels. And finally, EURUSD. So yeah, this level here, the 1.0094 provided resistance, continued to hold. We drifted back down to not only that level, but the 100-day EMA also did its job and provided resistance. So yeah, if you're looking for some higher levels, probably the safer option right now is just to wait for a pop above this barrier, above this hurdle here, and then we could go from there. For the downside, you would need to see maybe a break of this lower side of the rising channel, because again, at the moment, if it does fall below the psychological 1 level, we could aim for that 21-day EMA from the short-term perspective. We could aim here, and then we could just kind of try to gamble our way all the way lower. But again, it's it could drift lower, could test this 21-day EMA, rebound, and push back up. So just kind of keep that in mind. So that's why my ideal scenario is from around here somewhere. Yes, I will start looking at the at lower levels from a if I see a drop below that psychological 1 level, but I'll keep in mind that there is still an element of the doubt, and we could rebound from somewhere near this 21-day EMA. So guys, that's it for this session. Just by the way, just to let you know, keep your eyes on today's data, guys. Today could be quite an interesting one. We do have the US CPIs coming out, so that's, and together with the initial jobless claims, so could be a bit of a volatile day, I would say. So yeah, if we didn't see big swings maybe in the equity, in the indices, well, we could see today. So just to let you know, just to give you a little heads up. So so yeah, the US CPIs are coming out, so keep that in mind, and yep, we could expect the dollar making some shifts too. So yeah, guys, that's it for this session. I really hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching and listening. I really appreciate your time, your views, your likes, your comments, guys, everything. I really appreciate that. So thank you very much for your support. If you want to catch me tomorrow morning, as always, Traders Espresso, 7 o'clock GMT time. Bye-bye.